Let's break down the offensive line. As always, when I go through these videos, I have to go through them slow, or else the NFL will take down my video. So I can't just play the play entirely. I have to go through it step by step. So let's talk about the offensive line, because yesterday we went against one of the best defensive lines in the game. And, yeah, we had some struggles a little bit later on in the game, it seemed like. So starting off right away, we had Lucas Patrick start off this game before he got injured, and Dalton Reisner did go ahead and replace him. But first play of the game, ironically enough, first out of 10, and we actually do not run the ball, which will become a pattern later on in this game, is we do love to go ahead and run the ball. So this is going to be a pass here. My bad. It's going to be a pass here to Noah Fant over here on the right-hand side. I can't tell if this is like... So it's a designed rollout to the right-hand side, but it kind of looks like a screen pass. Could you kind of get this kind of wedge block, which puts you one-on-one with Myles Garrett, which that's always a fun sight to see. Double check that, yeah. You get that one-on-one with Myles Garrett. He ends up throwing the ball away. First play of the game, I'm going to kind of give that a wash because that kind of looked more like a screen pass type of concept. Let's go to the next play later. Next play, we have a run play. So we're going to actually have Noah Fant in the backfield, running back in the backfield, obviously Joe Burrow in the backfield, 2 wide receiver set. Let's see, this is going to be our typical what we do on first down and 10 the rest of this game. And we actually had a pretty good, you can see right here, we actually have a pretty good hole that opens up on this right-hand side. And again, starting off this game, seemed like the offensive line really did a decent job. Lucas Patrick is one-on-one there, getting his guy. Myles Garrett is going one-on-one with Orlando Brown Jr., and for the most part, it's pretty decent run play at the middle. We only get a couple yards on the play, though, and he does get swallowed up very quickly as it looks like kind of like Teddy K's block peels off and gets to the running back. So, nothing too crazy insane there. Let's skip forward a little bit. Next play later, it's going to go ahead here and be a 2nd down and 6. And this is the play we just looked at, right? Yeah, this is the play we just looked at. Was it? Hold up. This was this play. And then, okay, it's because there was an offsides on that play. That's why. So we ran the ball back-to-back plays. There was an offsides on the last play. So this time we run the ball yet again up the middle. Again, you're going to see the kind of blocking right here that's going to show up. And it's just simply a run play up the middle. I don't always love breaking down run plays when it comes to looking at offensive lines and how good they are, because run plays happen very quickly, right? And a lot of times it might not always be, oh, that guy sucked because on this one play, the guy peeled off the block too quickly, right? So run plays is always I'm questionable about because they just happen so quickly. Sometimes you look at them and you're like, is that really a problem with him? Or what? So I'm not sure what the fluff happened here with this miscommunication, but on 3rd and 1 here, we had an nobody blocked Myles Garrett express train here, and it looks like Orlando Brown takes a look like, oh, hey, wait, where's Myles Garrett? Why is Myles Garrett going to the backfield? It ends up being a handoff here for a 1st down, thankfully, because if they play action that, Joe Burrow would have been murdered. Absolutely murdered on the play. So, thankfully, that was not a play action pass, or else that would have been a really, really bad situation that we had. All right, next play later. This is our first technical actual blocker. Guy looks like he goes right through. Okay, bro. Hold up. That's Lucas Patrick right there. Now, we do have Chase Brown in there as an extra blocker, which is nice. But Lucas Patrick is getting shoved backwards. Now, Chase Brown comes in and helps block, but Lucas Patrick gets shoved backwards. And you can also see right here, Teddy K, 93 goes straight through Teddy K, straight to Joe Burrow. I mean, that's straight as you can get to Joe Burrow. So he's going to get the inside and go straight to Joe. And luckily, we throw the ball incomplete there. That could have been a very nasty hit there. Lucas Patrick and Teddy K just gave up their guys on that play. So now we run the ball 2nd and 10. Again, I don't really see any real issues with that play, with that run play. It will get worse throughout the game. 3rd down and 4 here. We're going to pass the ball, okay? Lucas got his guy 1-on-1. We got 1-on-1 here. P. Ryan is going to go in the backfield here. We got 1-on-1. We got 2-on-2. And for the most part, who are you on the ground? Why are you on the ground? Oh, that's Noah Fant. So it looks like Noah Fant. Yeah, so Noah Fant's going to block and release, but he actually fell over when he tried to block and release because he's trying to block and release against Myles Garrett. See, that's a situation where you wish you had Eric All or Cam Grandy in there because those two guys would be able to block and release and be able to not take on a Myles Garrett, but do a little bit more of an action versus Myles Garrett. I love Noah Fant, but he's not as much of a blocker as Cam Grandy or Eric All is. So you're going to see more of a vertical threat tight end from Noah Fant, and going 1-on-1 or trying to block and release Myles Garrett, never an easy sight to do. Other than that, though, I mean, for the most part, again, you know, we got that pocket right there. Everyone has their guy. It looks good, looks good, looks good. Joe completes it 1st down. Now it's 1st down 10, so the Bengals are like, hey, we should run the football. Hole opens up. This is going to be a typical thing for the rest of this game. We just love to run the football on 1st and 10. We get a penalty flag, so it ends up being 1st and 15. It's going to go ahead and be a pass play here. Mims has his guy. Orlando has his guy. We have 1-on-1, 1-on-1. So everything looking good right now. You can see Mims. That's a missed holding call. That's an absolutely missed holding call right there. That should have been holding. He completely takes him by. That's holding. Orlando Brown has Myles Garrett 1-on-1. That's a scary sight, by the way, seeing Myles Garrett 1-on-1 with anybody. So here's the problem. Fairchild is going 1-on-1 here. You can see with this guy right here. Now, Fairchild is going to get pushed inside here, and the guy is going to go on the outside and go straight for Joe. So Fairchild, just a simple mistake here. He gets pushed inside, get caught pretty much in la-la land. Guy becomes a free rusher straight at Joe Burrow. Pass does get complete, but that's a problem for Fairchild. He gets kind of pushed out of the play, and it ends up being that almost, again, guy gets straight to Joe Burrow. Next play later, so far, looks like a pretty good line. No real issue. Who is blocking? I think that's Drew Sample. I think that's Drew Sample blocking Myles Garrett. So that's all day to throw it because, bro, hold the fluff up. I think that is Drew Sample blocking Myles Garrett 1-on-1. I am just absolutely dumbfounded. Orlando Brown's watching it like, should I get involved with this, or is Drew Sample just going to absolutely manhandle one of the best pass rushers in the league like it's nothing? And then we have 3rd and 1, handoff here up the middle. It's going to be a 1st down. Next play later, it's going to go ahead and be a run play up the middle, which thankfully it was a run play because that's Fairchild. And the last thing you ever want to see is your guy turned around looking at your quarterback with him on the ground trying to stop somebody. That's the last thing you ever want to see. And that's not Fairchild. Sorry, that was Lucas Patrick. I thought that was Fairchild. That's actually Lucas Patrick. That's Lucas Patrick right there. That's the last thing you ever want to see. Your guy on the ground, Lucas Patrick right there. Now he doesn't get hurt right there, keep in mind. So he wasn't hurt on that play. He just was on the ground and got beat. Run play up the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for our boy Chase Brown. So, first drive, quick takeaways. Wasn't perfect, but the first 15 scripted plays of any game is very much, like kind of set in stone. You kind of know what it's going to be and how it's going to go. So for what it is, I think it was a pretty decent first drive. Next drive, first down and 10. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball first down and 10. Second down and 9 after that 1 yard run, which will become a constant thing. We have Myles Garrett on the right-hand side now, one-on-one with Amarius Mims. So he wasn't able to get through Orlando Brown. So now they're going to have him on the other side going against Amarius Mims. But we have one-on-one, 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 two-on-one. And for the most part, not bad. And then the pocket does collapse and ends up being a penalty flag on the play. So, sorry about the Best Buy thing. I don't know why that popped up. But it ends up collapsing, and he ends up throwing the ball in the play. Third down and 8 here. Okay, so they are pushing him back straight into Joe. You can see both sides here are pushing him back into Joe. This is still pretty good. That the guards and center looking pretty good. Joe still has all day to throw it. Completes it to Mike Gesicki. That's a first down and some. Next play later, you got this kind of block and release off the left-hand side here. Plus, you, of course, do have the extra offensive lineman. You got one-on-one with number 90 here. One-on-one, one-on-one. So, pretty decent. Now, again, you can see right here. This ends up getting kind of messed up here. So, our running back's going against Myles Garrett trying to block him, right? Well, because of the running back supposed to do a block and release play, he's going to peel off. Now, because he peels off, Orlando Brown Jr. is watching it saying, okay, when do I block Myles Garrett? Problem is, you give Myles Garrett that little bit of leeway room right here, and you're going to watch him go straight for your quarterback. And that's not what you want to see, because now you have Myles Garrett going straight for your quarterback. And that's really just a block and release play. And then Orlando Brown Jr. ends up in La La Land. You can see Orlando Brown Jr. right here. He's in La La Land. He's like, I don't know who to block. Who do I block? I don't know what to do. That's how Joe gets hit. Because what's supposed to happen is P. Ryan goes off the edge here, right? Orlando Brown Jr. picks him up. Joe steps up in the pocket, and now he has a rushing lane to get some yards, right? Because Orlando Brown Jr. is supposed to pick up Myles Garrett. He doesn't pick up Myles Garrett because the block and release play takes way too long. Because of that, everyone's discombobulated, and Joe Burrow is the one who gets hit in the end. Because nobody picks up Myles Garrett because the play takes way too long with the block and release. All right, next play later. Another block and release play on the right-hand side here. You got one-on-one, you got one-on-one, you got two-on-one. Let's see how this shakes out. Kind of gets pushed back into Joe, but for the most part, that's what you want to see. You want to see that, especially as the play develops a little bit. It takes a little longer to develop. You want to at least be able to see that type of protection for Joe. Joe looks down the field. He has Chase. Incomplete. And it's third down and 9 now. Third down and 9. We're going to have P. Ryan now in as a blocker. Orlando Brown Jr. got absolutely destroyed. So Orlando Brown Jr. gets destroyed on this play. And you can see right there getting right to the quarterback. Mims is getting beat on the play. You still have this pocket, and you would like to see on this type of play, right? And we've seen this many times with Joe, is if he could step up and get that kind of outside. Now, it's 39, so you don't want to run. You want to get a first down by throwing it. But you kind of want to get that, step up here. And he kind of does. You can see right here, Orlando Brown Jr. does get that kind of recapturing of the pocket because Joe steps up. So Joe steps up. He gets that recapturing of the pocket. He takes off running. He gets tackled after a couple yards. That's Myles Garrett. You kind of expect that to happen with Myles Garrett. He's going to get to you. He's going to get after your quarterback. Next drive later, it's 1st down and 10. What do? We run the ball. That's right, baby. That's right, baby. It's 1st down and 10. We run the ball. All right, next play later, 2nd down and 7 after a run. We're going to throw it here. We see that one-on-one with Myles Garrett and Mims. Mims is pretty much in the form of tackling him, but everyone else looks pretty good for the offensive line-wise. Mims is definitely risking that penalty flag on the play, but Mims is going to push him around, which we like to see that kind of pocket, right? We like to see that little pocket thing. He's going to push him around to keep him in the pocket. He pretty much tackles him on the play that is kind of on the fence of a holding call. We're lucky it was not a holding call. That's the 2nd time Mims today potentially could have gotten a holding call. Next play later, it's going to be a handoff. It's 1st down and 10. You should never ask that question. What is Zach Taylor going to call on 1st and 10? Run the ball, which you're going to see throughout this game. The defense started to understand that, right? Jim Schwartz understood, hey, it's 1st and 10. Let's stack the box and just blitz the ever-living crap out of the running back. Because Zach Taylor, it didn't matter what was called. It didn't matter who was out there. He was going to run the ball. It was 1st and 10. It was going to be a run. And when you are that predictable and they know what you're going to do, they're just going to stack the box and go, we're going to run straight at your quarterback and straight at your running back, and we're going to let you get no yards. It happened over and over and over again because we had kept doing the same thing, and we expected different results. That's called insanity. Anyway, 2nd and 4 here. It's going to be a run play again. This went up the middle. Gain of a couple on the play. Nothing really crazy special. Just a couple yards. All right, 3rd down and 2 here. You can see right here, got 1-on-1, we got 2-on-1, we got 1-on-1, we got 1-on-1. Now, Fairchild does look like the guy is going to get the inside push on him. And you can see, yeah, right there, exactly what I expected. He gets the inside leverage on him, and he's going to go right through him. When you're an offensive lineman and they get the inside leverage like this on you, it's over. It's absolutely over. They're going to go straight through you. So he's going to go straight through Fairchild, and he's going to go right for Joe here. Now, Joe shrugs off the sack. He's able to roll to his left-hand side. Fairchild does actually get a pretty good control of Myles Garrett here. Not Myles Garrett, sorry. Control of this guy right here. But Joe now is going to go out to the left-hand side. When this happens, the guy who's going against Myles Garrett, Orlando Brown, he's going to have to release. You can't hold the guy. So you're going to have to release him. When you release him, now we have a 3rd and 2 where Joe is rolling and Myles Garrett is right there. Completion to Samaje Perine. Great play by Joe Burrow. But again, you see that same concept. Next play later. Mims, 1-on-1. Orlando Brown, 1-on-1. That is hands to the face. That right there is hands to the face. So that's a 15-yard penalty right there. Not called. That's hands to the face right there. You see the face mask going up. You see the hand going up. This is a very dangerous thing because the player could obviously get hurt from doing this. So that is hands to the face. That is not called in any circumstance. Joe has time. Pocket beautiful. Guy puts his hand up. And that's going to be a pass down the field incomplete, which obviously is a PI call and gives us the ball at 1st and goal. Next play later. Pocket perfect. Love this pocket. Looking good, looking good, looking good. End zone shot. Incomplete. Should have been a PI call. Not called. I mean, are we just going to look at the fact that he's holding his arm? I get it. They just called a PI call at the 1 yard line. They don't want to call it again. But if you're going to call the game fairly, you have to call this as a pass interference, as he is holding his arm and stopping him from getting to his trajectory of the football. This is the most clear, basic PI you're ever going to see on a football field. You're holding the guy's right arm to stop him from catching the football. And that is catchable if he doesn't hold down his arm. I mean, bro, that's pass interference. Next play later, it's 2nd and goal. We're going to run the ball up the middle. And we end up being a little bit short on the play. 3rd and goal here. It's a pass play. We roll out. And this is... Okay, so this is a mess right here. So you're going to see that... Our fullback, Drew Sample, is that Tanner Hudson? Do not tell me they put Tanner Hudson in the backfield. I think that's Drew Sample, I want to say, right here. It might be Tanner Hudson, which if you put him in the backfield as a blocker, you're just asking for problems. That's a touchdown to Noah Fant. Wait, hold up. That's Cody Ford. They put Cody Ford in the backfield as a fullback. I gotta just take a... They put Cody Ford as a fullback in the backfield. Who's making these decisions? Like, legitimately, who is making these choices? Cody Ford as a fullback. Okay. Next drive later. It's before halftime here. 101 on the right-hand side with Mims. 101. We got 2-on-1. We got 1-on-1. So let's see. Joe has all day. Great protection right there by the offensive line. Not really that bad. Next drive later. 1-on-1 on the outside. We got a block and release play here. We got 2-on-1 here. And we got 1-on-1 here. This, by the way, Dalton Reiser does come in last drive, by the way, after an injury to Lucas Patrick. Mims is kind of bullying the everlasting crap out of this guy. This guy keeps trying to get up, and every single time Mims just pushes him straight to the ground, which I find kind of hilarious. And obviously, that's going to be the last play of the halftime. But I find that stupidly funny for no reason, that over and over again, the guy just kept trying to get up, and Mims was like, no, you're not going to get up. You're not getting up. It just kind of just funny to me. 1st down and 10, guys. Can we all bet on what the Bengals are going to call? Wow, actually, that's actually surprising to me. Okay, you know what? I give them credit. They did not run it on every single 1st down. That was actually a very good play-action pass, because I think everyone expected them to do it. Okay, so they brought the safety out. They brought Ward out here, cornerback, blitz. This right here is going to be a holding call. That's not called, by the way. That's going to be a holding call. That's not called. That's 1-on-1. That's 3-on-2. And that's a holding call and a half right there. Mims, that's the 3rd time today that he's going to get a holding call that's not called. Which it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Referees were kind of crap on both sides in this game, I guess. Okay. You got... It's a run play here. Mims is going to pick up his guy. Drew Sample on the outside for his guy. Run play up the middle. It's 2nd and 5. So I'm actually heavily surprised they didn't run the ball. They hit me with a play action on 1st down. That's beautiful. 3rd down and 3. Pass play here. Orlando Brown's going to get beat here, but it's okay. It's okay to get beat here because, first off, you have another blocker here. It looks like, and I think that is Noah Fant. It's okay to get beat here. Just recover well and keep that pocket going. Keep that pocket going, and you're good. Push, push, okay. And this is the right in Jamar Chase's hands drop. That is one of the most painful drops of all time because that was right in his hands, and we needed that so freaking badly. And Joe had the time to throw that ball, too. Next play later is going to be a short dimp out pass to the backfield. But you can see right here, Orlando Brown Jr., for the most part, has his guy. We have 1-on-1, we have 2-on-1, and we have 1-on-1 for Fairchild. Fairchild looking really good this game so far. A couple mistakes early on, but really adapted well as time went on. Next play later, it's going to go ahead and be a play action pass here. And by the way, I was actually incorrect. I thought they ran the ball every single first down and 10, and I was actually incorrect because they didn't run the ball that last first down and 10 again. So maybe not. It just felt like every first down and 10. I give Zach Taylor my apologies because I thought they did run it on every first down and 10. Second down and 9 here. Joe's going to roll out to his left-hand side here. You can see right here we have complete control there. This guy, 1-on-1 here. He's going to try to continuously block. He ends up pushing off of him. He has to. You can't hold on to a guy because it's going to be, obviously a PI call. And he ends up trying to throw it to Drew Sample here after two guys get to Joe. On that type of play, there's really nothing else you can do. I guess the ball was intended for Drew Sample. Drew Sample blocked a little bit too long and ended up having to try to do a block and release play. But, I don't know what else you're going to do in that play there. Roughing the passer? I guess not. That's kind of questionable. All right, so this one's going to be a free blitzer. You can see right here, he's going to come in and pretty much be a free blitzer on 3rd and 9 here at Joe Burrow. So Joe's going to get crunched on this play. And you can see right here, Orlando Brown was getting beat on this play right here, right? And obviously the guy's coming in right here. You have to throw the ball here. But for the most part, yeah, that guy is going to crunch him. He's just a free blitzer. T. Higgins does catch that ball, thankfully, so it helps move the chains. First down and 10 here. It's going to be a run play. Okay, so, okay. Second down and 4 here. It's going to go ahead and be another play here. Sorry about the PayPal notification. Second down and 4. And you can see right here, watch the right tackle. Right? Watch Mims on that right-hand side. Guy goes straight through Noah Fant. Straight through Mims. And he is going to actually be able to kind of help him out here and get that little bit of a block here. You can see right here, he pushes him around, and gives Joe Burrow enough time to get this ball off. And obviously, yes, the pocket is collapsing. But for the most part, he still has time to throw the ball, still has time to get the ball out. It ends up being an incomplete pass. Third down and 4 here. Ends up being a quick pass right here to Chase Brown, which ends up being incomplete. But you can see right there, pocket, perfect. Pocket is perfect. He has time to throw the ball, and it ends up being incomplete pass on the play. We settle for a field goal. So now we're in the fourth quarter with 14-12 to go in the game. First down and 10. We run the ball. We run the ball on 1st and 10. So, okay, maybe what? We only got 11 first downs, by the way, in this whole entire game. Pretty pathetic. They got 22. We got 11. Out of our 11, we ran the ball 8 out of our 11 times then. 8 of our 11 first downs, we ran the ball. So I think low-key, logically, I was right. I take back my apology. Next play later. 1-on-1 here. That's all good. That's all good. Joe has that clean pocket. You can see. Pocket is a little bit breaking down, but ball gets thrown out there. Little too high for T. Ends up being incomplete on the play. T did have it in his hands, though. He should have caught it. Next play later. Fairchild's getting beat on this play right here, one-on-one. You see that Mims is kind of getting beat on his guy as well. And then you can see right here. Actually, sorry, this is Teddy K. My bad. Excuse me. That's Dalton. And then you can see right here, Fairchild's on the ground. So the play hikes, right? Fairchild is right here on the ground. So now he's going to try to go get back up and get the guy. But obviously that's Myles Garrett. So Myles Garrett is going to get a free hit on Joe Burrow and end up being short on the play. And that's just going to be a mistake of Dylan Fairchild fell down on the play. So you can see right here, he's going to the left. He goes to block. He falls down. And Myles Garrett just gets that free rush straight at Joe Burrow. And straight up, obviously, ends up being incomplete. We end up, taking the out on the play. Next drive later, 1st down 10. We don't run the ball. Okay, you know what? Maybe Zach. This is actually the 3 sacks in a row. So this is a little bit of a weird thing, but we have 2 guys on Myles Garrett right here. We got Drew Sample out here blocking. Samaje P run in here too. We got a little bit of a curve here. But Joe's going to step up in the pocket, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. But Myles Garrett's just going to go straight through Orlando Brown Jr. here and get straight to Joe Burrow. So it's just going to get straight to Joe Burrow in that play, going straight around. You can see right here, right around Orlando Brown Jr. and getting to Joe. Which, yeah. I mean, Joe does what he's supposed to do there, step up in the pocket. Next play later, this just, Mims is going to get pushed back. Orlando Brown gets pushed back. You can see right here, Fairchild's getting beat on this play on the inside. It's going to get straight to Joe. And that pocket collapses. That's another sack. And again, that's just simply, you can see right there, Fairchild loses the inside leverage. So Joe tries to step up. And simply Orlando Brown's not able to hold his guy. Next play later, Mims has to pretty much tackle this guy and push him to the ground. Because he had a really good head start on Mims there. And then again, another sack on the play as Joe has to jump over, which ends up tripping him and sacking him on that play. 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the ball game. Let's see how this ends up turning out. This is when we get the ball back after the missed field goal. 1st down 10, we run the ball. Loss of 2 on the play. That was just, yeah, they blitz, all-out blitz, because they expected us to run on 1st down 10. Next play later, you got Orlando Brown one-on-one with Myles Garrett. You got this little conjunction right here. This conjunction right here. Still have time, though. Look at that. That's still a clean pocket. Still a clean pocket. Pass down the field is caught by T. That's short of 1 yard. 3rd down and 1. We're going to run the ball. And we just get stuffed for 0 yards. 4th down and 1 here. We have delay of game penalty on us. Obviously, we get the ball back with 1:20 left. 22 left in the game. Run the ball straight at the middle. They're prepared for it. It's 1st down 10. We run the ball. That's kind of how it is. A lot of times we do run the ball on 1st down 10, okay? Not every time, but this one, Myles Garrett's just in the backfield. Shut it down. And, yeah, we run the ball again, and then we punted it back to them. So, across the board, definitely the offensive line struggled greatly in certain situations, but not the worst. Not the worst possible scenario. I think Dylan Fairchild looked bad early, but then he recovered very well as the game went on. Nothing worked offensively. I don't think the play calling was good. I don't think, people got open as much as we needed them to. So, it was just an ugly game across the board, but you know what? In the end, it is what it is. We won the game in the end, and that's really all that matters. At the end of the day, a win is a win. And if you get a win, then you're happy. If you lose, obviously, that's the biggest issue, right? And right now, we're 1-0. The Ravens are 0-1. The Steelers are 1-0. And the Browns are 0-1. So, a win is a win, and you just got to get wins in football. See you guys next one, though. Peace out.